All right. Let's get into these thick ass facts. I have one that has to do with the internet, and
Okay.
it's actually pretty crazy because I feel like it's a marketing tactic that's used on us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What about yours?
Um, Mine has to do with our DNA.
Okay, well, why don't you go first since you went first in the thread?
Okay. Um, all human embryos begin life as females.
Oh, I did hear this. Crazy. I used to have a vagina.
How do you feel about hearing that?
I was at the end of the facts.
Yeah, that was all
So
it
why
said.
is that? Just because of the something to do with the X and Y chromosome? We get the Y one later.
I'll tell you right now.
So you guys are base level human, but we're like the better. We're like an upgrade.
Do y'all hear that? Say that again. So talk to the ladies.
So ladies, seems like you guys are the default factory level base human, which is good. That means you guys are the
Oh, there he goes. You see,
The
when I tell
base.
him to talk to y'all, then it like
nothing's.
shifts a little.
I'm saying the same thing.
No,
You asked me to add more details.
Go ahead.
You guys are the base. You add a little chemical X, as the professor would. You got a brand new upgraded.
Why does it have to be
Man.
upgraded? Why wouldn't it just be different? Why does it need to be upgraded?
Because there was a whole chromosome that
It's
was
just
added.
different. Yeah, it's just different.
And then we became man, and we're added. And dicks
Wow.
grew, and we were like, yeah, strong men.
With egos.
We're like
that
upgrade.
are
We're like
sensitive.
upgraded women.
Geneticists have discovered that all human embryos start life as females, as do all embryos of mammals. About the second,
Even snakes.
About the second month. Wow. Really?
All snakes start as female, huh?
And then they upgrade to you, right? And then what does that make that kind of snake?
Super snake.
Ew. About the second month of fetal test, elaborate enough androgens to offset the maternal estrogens and maleness develops.
Androgens? I didn't know that was a word.
Androgen.
Just estrogen, androgen, and what? Tredrogen?
Testosterone?
Tredrogen.
What is that?
That's the third one.
Tredrogen.
Androgen, estrogen, tredrogen.
Tredrogen?
Mm-hmm.
It's like treachery?
That's got the dick and balls in it that's added to us.
Oh, like
like-
treacherous.
It's like DLC. Capital D.
What is wrong with you?
It's not hard to believe that we're a little upgrade, little
You're
bonus.
not upgraded. No.
It's like adding a Super Mario mushroom to a little fetus.
No.
Okay.
Don't-
So we all
don't
start as
agree.
bitches. No. Everybody starts as bitches. Let's go.
You're dumb, bro. You're dumb as fuck.
All right. Let's go to my soupy.
Soupy?
I've tried to say super. Let's go
The
to
upgrade, huh?
my soupy.
Come on, upgrade.
My soupy logical fact.
Yikes.
This is a psychological. This is called Cunningham's law.
Okay.
Okay. According to Cunningham's law, the best way to get the right answer on the internet is not to ask a question, it's to post the wrong answer. Isn't that just a... So let's think about that.
All right.
That plays on... First of all, the internet is just a crazy place full of hoodlums. That means that in human psychology, if you were to ask me something, I would way more likely to scroll past it like, I'm not helping her. But if you were to definitively
Okay, upgrade.
say the sky is blue, people are such assholes that they'll correct you to get the answer as opposed to just straight up answering
Well,
you. They'll
you
be like,
know what?
actually, it's blue.
Well, did you see that? I think it's a meme. I think it's Albert Einstein meme. Is it? probably wasn't really him that said this because it's a meme, and we know
They
memes
just
can be
putting
wrong.
pictures.
But it had
quotes.
said something like he had did all of these mathematical equations correctly, and then at the end, he made a mistake. And everyone laughed and pointed and said something about this mistake, but nobody said anything about the fact that he did all of this shit right first.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as he did something wrong, everybody was like,
People are looking for faults in others because to make them feel better. They're waiting for it. And unfortunately, I feel like it for some weird reason it feels better to laugh at people than to praise them.
Damn, you're horrible.
No, I'm saying that based off of humans, not how I feel.
Yeah.
Just look at how it is. Like, there are so many people who are like, they'll damn near brace themselves and be like, okay, I'm going to say something nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to start doing this.
And that's just
but the other shit just be flying out.
See, and, you know, I've been guilty of this myself sometimes where, you know, I'll post a picture and I'll go and scroll the comments and I see, hey,
nice,
beautiful,
nice,
hey, sexy, hey, sexy. You know, you're the most amazing goddess, princess, queen.
Then
you
one ugly
said,
bitch.
Yeah, you a fat ass
like,
bitch. Like,
I remember I told you that once.
You did tell me that once, but I had to let you know, like, sometimes, like, but in that case, I had already responded to a bunch of positive ones. And then that one, I was just, and for me, specifically, when I see a negative comment, most of the time I scroll past it, or sometimes if it has likes on it, if it's a negative comment and it has likes on it, I'll go look at the likes who liked it.
Come on.
And I block them.
Damn.
Yeah. Because
here's
it's like,
the thing,
them the worst. But what I respond to a lot of times is if it comes from a black woman. If it comes from a black woman and she's telling me I need to have a breast reduction, or, you know, if she's telling me like, well, that's why if I respond, it's because I cared in that moment what was said to me, because I am human. I am not a robot. Right. So as much as I can ignore, there's just some times where I'm like, girl, like, you're supposed to be my sis.
No,
like, why
I
are you coming at me like this? Like, don't body shame me.
But I also think that dims you a little bit.
I don't think it does. I think it shows that you're human, and it's okay to show that you're human, even on the internet.
But at the same time, like, when you're on stage for everybody, and that means we think entertainment is just like, wow, I really like this. When the entertainment is just the wow, it can be wow, I really like this, or wow, I hate this. Mm-hmm. But I think that what you're talking about is something that I don't care if an influencer is just like, I don't care about anything, nothing gets to me. You know, that's all lies.
Right.
I think the most honest version of that is like that you can learn to not accept it the same way, because I feel like how you think is a muscle too. And there was a point in time where I was just like, I would look at my comments and I was just like, wow, I'm only responding to the negative ones, you know? And then it's just like then it becomes like a culture, like the negativity in here is responded to and accepted, and all these people who are saying positive stuff don't get anything. So then the culture shifts, and now it's like, all right, well, if he's not responding to the positive stuff, then maybe I'm just going to put stuff in the negative stuff.
Right.
So not only
and then they'll say after you respond and say something, they'll say, oh shit, I didn't think you was gonna respond, my bad.
Right.
Like,
so now it's just like you kind of dimmed yourself by
lowering
lowering yourself to them. And even if like what would be the best case scenario? It's just like them being like, dang, I was really mean, you're right, I feel bad now. Even that is just like, damn, I didn't want to do that either. So, I mean, I think it's just about giving attention, the positive attention, to the ones who give positive attention to you.
And I do that. And there's
hard,
a lot of that. And I'm better at it now than I was when I was first, like, building my brand. And then there's stuff that they'll say about you that you can't respond to. So there's websites that will have forums talking about you that And that's, I mean, you could sign up on the forum, but who wants to
you
do all that?
Right. But if you train yourself on your own page, that other stuff affects you less and less. Like I don't even really like. I feel like negative comments don't even really affect me the same way that they used to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it is a part of the game we chose.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I wanted to say a little something before we end.
Oh, okay. That's why I was about to end.
I know. I wanted to. I just saw a post, and I could identify with it often, so I wanted to share it.
Okay.
Signs that you're burnt out and not lazy, because sometimes those two can be, you just don't feel like doing anything, but you're not realizing that you're overwhelmed, you're burnt out. You might mistake it as like, why am I being lazy? But in essence, like, you've worked really hard and you feel disconnected from everything. You don't feel like yourself anymore, and you feel, in a way, distanced from everyone, including yourself. You feel like you're watching life from outside of yourself.
This is lazy or burnt out?
These are all signs that you're burnt out but not lazy.
Okay.
So
I've been there.
Yeah, right, exactly. 2, you used to feel motivated. It's highly likely that if you've recently become exhausted, drained, and unmotivated, that you're suffering from a burnout. 3, you used to feel passionate. You used to have something that you were passionate and interested in, or something that you liked a lot, and now you're not feeling motivated anymore to do it. It could be a hobby, a sport, a job.
Absolutely.
4, you've been feeling moody and irritable. If you have been feeling moody, frustrated, or having emotional breakouts, especially when you typically never do, it's a huge sign that you're feeling burned out.
Kanye said he was exhausted too, and it was misdiagnosed. All right, keep going.
I hope he got my facial expression. Probably didn't, because I didn't say anything, but Kanye is a whole beast.
Could be exhausted.
He could be. He could be burnt the fuck out, and much more.
Fried.
5, you've been neglecting your self-care. You haven't done the usual self-care that you used to do. Your eating and sleeping patterns have changed. You may have been spending more time than usual alone, and you feel less inclined to do things. Even little things seem like a lot.
Okay.
Number 6, these changes seem to happen gradually. Having a burnout can happen in stages: losing interest and motivation, feeling detached, neglecting yourself. Burnouts happen gradually. They don't just happen overnight. So, if you're experiencing a burnout, hopefully hearing this will let you know, because I think sometimes just calling yourself lazy can actually make you feel
Be like, I'm lazy, so I might as well just do this.
Fuck it. And people, I've seen comments where people will rave about being lazy, and I just think it's crazy. Like, I'm too lazy to read this whole post, or I'm too lazy to do this and that. I suffered from a burnout. Like, oh my God, I was burned out for 6 months, where I didn't want to do a post, I didn't want to do a photo shoot, I didn't want to do anything, and I was just like, this was last year. And for 6 months, I did the bare minimum of what I could do, because I've been doing my social media platform. I've been doing this for maybe 5 years, over 5 years. And there's not really breaks, because you're constantly trying to create content. And so having a break was not really something that was on my list of things to do, because I was always trying to figure out how can I entertain more? How can I, what's next? Starting certain businesses, failed businesses, businesses that never took off, trying to keep up with this, and this. Yeah. Each site, I just found myself not wanting to do anything. I had an assistant and everything, and she didn't really have much to do. At some point in time, because I was burned out. But then I don't remember what happened, and it kind of kicked me into gear. I think I started seeing my money look a little funny. And it kicked me into gear because I got comfortable. It was like, okay, I'm not doing too much right now, and I'm comfortable.
So, I mean, were you comfortable or were you burnt out?
I think they kind of, when I say comfortable, like I'm meaning too comfortable with not doing shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so it started with burnout because I'm doing all these businesses and doing everything. And then you fall into, and then it's like, okay, I got to get back on my shit. And I was able to like be motivated and inspired by people around me, my friends, other content creators, people on social media. Like I got inspired back to get it back going. But I think if I would have called myself lazy and accepted that, I would have stayed in that.
That's
and sometimes
fair. It's good advice. Stop calling yourself lazy.
Yeah, like
it doesn't feel like an insult because we just be like, I'm so lazy.
Mm-hmm. But the more you say it, I feel like the more you manifest it in yourself, and so self manifestation is real. So if you're feeling like that, hopefully you can find something to motivate you to get you back going. But sometimes feeling burnt out means that you need to just really take some time to maybe get away. Focus on one thing staycations, focus on one thing that really makes you happy, indulge in it, and then just see, where things go from there. Hopefully that'll kick you out of that. Because laziness can sometimes like mimic depression, and some.
Yeah, a lot of times it does seem like, I just want to do anything. I want to go outside today.
Mm-hmm. And you might be just like, I'm just lazy, but really you have, symptoms of depression and you want to seek help or something like that. But if you're just telling yourself you're lazy, you're not going to seek help, So that's just my little helpful thing of today. Hopefully that helps someone. If not, maybe it will in the future.
If not,
this will be up in the cloud.
I like that. I mean, I feel like I definitely had some burnout moments this year.
Mm-hmm.
This was probably the year I released the least amount of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, in since I started. So, no, that it definitely disguises itself as laziness a lot of the times. But I feel like everything works on momentum, That was probably the biggest thing that I learned this year was about momentum, and it's like how, I think we were talking about this at one point too, when I was really researching it, and you said something that was kind of cool, like that I hadn't been thinking of, is that momentum works good, which I'm mostly focused on, but it works with bad, like you could have something bad happen in the morning, and the first thought is like, today's a shitty day. And then that whole thing turns into the whole day becoming worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Instead of blocking that out. But what I try to focus on is like positive momentum. So I'm the type of person who, even if it's something that I love doing it's just the starting that I have an issue with. So it could be.
So you get up on the wrong side of the bed in the morning?
No, not starting the day. I do start the day rough sometimes, but I'm not a morning person. But I'm just saying, like, starting a thing. And it could be anything. It can be shooting. It can be streaming on Twitch. It can be music. It can just be working out. Just something that's like, I don't feel like doing it. But then when you start doing it, you're like, this is the most fun.
Yeah.
It's just that starting that's rough for me. So I don't know. Going to the gym definitely helps with that mentality because it's just like a muscle. You can kind of like grow it, and now it's just like, I'm stronger at starting stuff or stronger at reversing my laziness every single day. Definitely
gotta bring in that positive energy to you, because when we were having that conversation, I was basically saying it's almost like a rabbit hole of negativity. If you get up in the morning and you find out something, something bad happened, and then it's like, okay, well, if you stay stuck in that, then a lot of times we see, a lot of times, and it might not even be that bad of a thing that happened, but the way you interpret it,
right,
can it will seem bad to you. Like it's basically the glass half empty or half full. And when you're already in that negative mindset coming into, when you see that glass, it's always going to be half empty, so if you are able to like change your mindset about certain things, like I was telling you, like my car got repoed once. My car got repoed in the morning and I was just like, shit, like, okay, what am I gonna do now? And then I just start thinking of like, of strategies to get it back. Like, okay, solutions. How am I gonna get it back? I didn't fret about it. I didn't have money at the time either, but I was willing to let it go. I was willing to let it go too.
That's strong. I'm the exact opposite. One little thing like that, I'd be like, today sucks.
Yeah. But later on in the day, I got a call from them and they was like, well, if you want it back, you'd have to pay this. And it was like 80% less than what I owed on it. Wow. And I was like, okay. They just wanted something, I guess.
Hilarious.
And I was like, all right, well,
just
so I ended up,
I
ended up paying it off and got the fucking pink slip for 80% less than what I was paying on it before it got repoed. Now, I'm not telling y'all to do that.
Damn.
Don't do that because I feel like, but like I said, I didn't harbor that like negativity that.
Damn, Repo Joe. I'm going to call you Repo Joe.
Repo P.
Repo Joe. Come get it back in blood. That's what you should have told them. Get this shit back in blood, nigga.
But yeah, so yeah.
Well, that was cool. That was a cool little. I don't know if we would consider that a safety thread. We usually be doing safety threads at home, but health,
it could.
mental health thread, health, mental safety.
Yeah, just a little mental health check-in.
A little bonus activity.
Why I thought you was about to say mental health boner.
All right, well, we will see you guys next week. I've been your co-host, Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
What? What the hell are you talking about? All right, guys, we'll see you.